Over the past few weeks, I've been doing a bit of a clear out at home. It started in the house, then moved outside to the garden and then eventually to my shed, my workshop. As I worked my way through the clutter, I came across all sorts of things I'd forgotten about. Some useful, some definitely not, and some that carried memories that I hadn't revisited in years. It became more than just a tidy up. It turned into a time of reflection, of letting go, rediscovering and making space. It struck me how similar this process is to what we go through in life. There are situations and moments in my past that I'd rather forget. Mistakes I've made, words I wished I hadn't said, times I didn't act the way I should have. We all have things like that, what some people call skeletons in the closet. Not necessarily dramatic, but things that linger. Left unattended, they clutter our minds and weigh our hearts. They affect how we live today. Perhaps we need every so often is an emotional or spiritual clear out. A time to pause and say, is this still serving me? Is this something I need to carry any longer? Jesus spoke to people often burdened by their past, people who were stuck or weighed down by guilt, regret and shame. And his response was rarely judgment. It was often a gentle invitation to begin again, to turn the page, to live lighter. He created space for people to rediscover who they were meant to be. Sometimes in our sorting we stumble upon forgotten treasures. In the shed I found a few of Lou's dad's old tools. One in particular, a modified screwdriver we made up specifically to get to a really difficult oil drain plug on an old car that I had. It reminded me of time spent together repairing cars. Simple moments but rich with meaning. I'd forgotten them until that object brought them back to me. And I wonder how many joys from our past we've buried without realising, waiting to be undiscovered again. Then there are the things that still have purpose, tools that may be a little bit worn and yet there's still a lot of use in them. There are lessons I've learnt, sometimes through mistakes, sometimes through perseverance, that have helped form who I am today. My body might be slowing down a little bit worn, a bit like those old tools, but I'd like to think that there's a bit more wisdom to offer. I hope to pass that on to my kids or anyone else who might care to listen. So in this whole process of clearing out, I've thrown away the junk, I've rediscovered some valuable memories and reminded myself of what still matters. And I've realised that making space, whether in the shed or in the soul, helps us live more freely and intentionally. Even Jesus took time to step away from the crowd, to go off by himself, to pray and to reflect. If he needed space to reconnect with what mattered most, then maybe we do too. So maybe today's a good moment to pause and ask, what needs clearing out? What's worth remembering? And what still has purpose for the journey ahead? Because when we make space, internally and externally, we find we're better equipped for whatever comes next.